Every year starts with a bang, depending on what part of the world you're in. Last year it was Cat Williams and Clochishi, but this year it is DeepSeek. So DeepSeek released its chatbots onto Apple Store and Google Play Store January 10th, and within 2 weeks, it became the most downloaded free app. But beyond that, we saw several tech and AI companies in the US dip with the value of their shares. For example, Nvidia lost about 16%. Then Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, lost about 5%. In total, it is recorded that over $1 trillion was wiped out from the US stock exchange due to the effect of the release of DeepSeek. In this video, I'm going to be talking about DeepSeek. I'm going to be explaining things to you in lay terms so you would understand. We'll also be looking at the features of DeepSeek and also the user interface, how to sign up, and everything related to DeepSeek. But before we dive in, kindly subscribe to my channel right now. Let's go. So what is DeepSeek? Actually, DeepSeek is a Chinese company that develops LLMs. LLMs stand for large language models. The best way to understand DeepSeek is to look at OpenAI. OpenAI is a company that developed ChatGPT. The same way, DeepSeek is the company that developed DeepSeek. Now, there are several terms you should know if you would understand DeepSeek. First, most chatbots are released by model. For example, the current model of ChatGPT is ChatGPT 4.0. The second thing to understand is that most models are built on previous models. Now, the previous models do not necessarily have to be the models of that parent company. It will be the models of other companies. That said, DeepSeek so far has released 7 models, and the most current is the DeepSeek R1. And that thing to understand is that each model often comes with several variants. That means a model might have 2, 3, or 4 variants. Now, there are 2 major models specific to DeepSeek we will talk about that would explain a lot about what is happening with DeepSeek. The first is the DeepSeek R1 and also the DeepSeek V3. Now, I already mentioned DeepSeek R1, which is the current model. The DeepSeek R1 has 5 variants. Yes, 5 variants. And of course, the most important is the DeepSeek R1. Again, you'll notice the naming structure of DeepSeek. Now, the DeepSeek R1 itself is the model upon which the chat bot is released, so that when you log into DeepSeek either on web or through the app, you'll see DeepSeek R1 below. Now, DeepSeek R1 is built on the architecture of DeepSeek V3. Now, let's talk about DeepSeek V3. DeepSeek V3 was released last year around December. Now, to understand why DeepSeek is the disruptor that it is, you must understand DeepSeek V3. Now, these models are usually trained to be able to perform the task that we often use them to perform. For example, to build websites, to write SEO, data analytics, and a host of other things. Now, DeepSeek V3 was the model that was trained to perform such tasks. The problem is, with companies like Meta and OpenAI, they spent a huge amount of money training their models. For example, OpenAI spends close to $100 million to train ChatGPT 4, while Meta spent about $50 million to train their own model. But DeepSeek used just $6 million, between $5 to $6 million to train the DeepSeek V3. And this came out as a shock, comparing the amount spent. And also, DeepSeek were able to do the entire training within 2 months. The ability to achieve that level of technology in the shortest period of time with the least amount of money is a precise reason why, was precisely why many of these tech companies began to lose a lot of money. Now, let's talk about the features of DeepSeek. First, DeepSeek is free. And this might not be a big deal, but remember, DeepSeek's performance equals most of the top chatbots we already have in the market, like ChatGPT. Secondly, DeepSeek is open source. What this means is users can basically run DeepSeek on their own server. You can also use DeepSeek on your app, on your website without having to pay any license fee. This makes DeepSeek's usability wider than most of the other options that we have. So DeepSeek was created with two major languages, that is English and Chinese. What this means is DeepSeek would have a stronghold in China, basically kicking out ChatGPT, but not completely, but you get the point. Fourth, DeepSeek is its thinking model, and this is one of the things that make DeepSeek amazing. When you interact with DeepSeek, it outputs its thought processes, which is quite amazing. Also, you can train the model to perform specific tasks. Other features include DeepSeek's ability to work on live data. And although DeepSeek's hour and information is updated till 2024, its web search feature makes it easy to get current information. So you must be mindful of this when you ask DeepSeek specific questions. Then also, DeepSeek can communicate in about 20 different languages, which is amazing.
Okay, let's go now sign up for DeepSeek. Go to your browser, search for DeepSeek, and you will see DeepSeek.ai. Click on it, put in your information as required, your Gmail. Make sure you put in your correct Gmail because a code will be sent to your Gmail, which you would have to input before you gain access to it. Now, click on send code, check your mail for the code and paste the code, and that's about it. Now let's talk about the user interface. Now DeepSeek's interface is almost similar to that of ChatGPT, and if you are familiar with ChatGPT, you'll find this quite easy. Of course, we have the message DeepSeek. Now this is the most important aspect of using DeepSeek. You have the option to use the model DeepSeek R1, or you use the web search, or you could use both at the same time. Remember I said DeepSeek's information is updated up to 2024, so it is important when you need current information that you click on the web search. Any other thing you want to do, you could always just use the DeepSeek R1. That is if you want to perform certain tasks that doesn't require updated data. But to be safe, I would suggest you have the DeepSeek R1 search on at all times. To the left, you have the new charts. This is a new account, so there is really nothing to show for my chart history. And then we have the option to get the app, which you can do using your phone to scan the QR code. That is if you haven't installed it via your store. And then we have my profile. Yes, there's another aspect. We have the attached icon here. Uploading file is unavailable for searching. So I have to switch off search. You can only upload text. You can only upload ORCs. Now I created another video that covers ORC, or is it OCR? Sorry. Oh good, it's OCR. So you can only attach OCR, and that means you can only attach images that have text written on them, and then DeepSeek would extract the text. You can also upload documents. These are basically the type of files you can upload and interact with on DeepSeek. I have created a video now to upload photos also. It's a short, you can click on it at the top, and I drop a link in the description of this video. You have my profile and just a couple of links, the settings, delete or chat, contact us, and if you go to settings, you will have the option to choose your language, which is basically English or Chinese, and then you can also choose your theme, light, dark, And then you have the profile settings, your email address. I didn't register with phone number, so no phone number, terms of use, privacy policy, and you can also delete your accounts. And we have the close sidebar to close this particular sidebar. And I think that's about all that is to the interface. Simple as it is an extremely powerful interface. Not coming videos I'll probably be discussing the several tasks you can perform with DeepSeek. And that will be all for this video. Can you like this video, share it, better yet, switch on the notification so you would be able to get notification when I post important videos like this, and subscribe. Thank you.